Good morning folks, Jason Nick here from the Udderfarm. We're actually down at Kinkuna Beach this weekend. Nicole decided to drag me away from the farm. It's a Father's Day special, so she said I can't work. So we're here for the weekend, and for breakfast this morning I'm doing a damper. So it's going to be a plain damper, plain Australian damper with maple syrup. So it'll be myself and Nicole. I've got my lad here, Callum, he's on the camera today, and being one of Cal's mates. So just open up the fire to get a few coals and we'll crack on. We'll get into the kitchen and we'll start preparing. Righto guys, now we're in the kitchen, we'll start preparing this, putting it all together. First you need 3 cups of self-raising flour. Then what we'll do then, you've got to have 1 cup of warm milk. What I like to do with my warm milk is I put it in, then I like to put a knob of butter in as well. So it just adds that flavour into the end product of the damper. So we'll throw that into the mix. Slowly put him in. So we'll get him in there. While we're there, we'll cut the knob of butter and then we'll turn that heat up and let it melt up. Then we'll mix it together. So you get a knob of butter right here. That's about. Grab a nice knob. That much will do. Put the heat on. Down a bit so not too fast. Go again, second it. Righto guys, what we've got to do now, the butter's starting to melt down slowly into this milk. Just make sure it's on a low heat. You don't want the milk too hot, it's just got to be warm. Butter's starting to go perfect there, so we're almost at the point where we can start mixing it in with the flour. Beautiful. Turn the heat off. What you do is just make a little bit of a well inside your flour to pour that into. And slowly pour it in. Oh, beautiful. Now we just got to mend that. What you want to do is make sure that we don't do it too much and just keep stirring it, because you will get you lose your rise in your damper. What I'm going to do now guys is I'm going to actually add some sultanas. It's not in the recipe because it's a morning treat. I just want to add a few sultanas and that'll add to it when you put the syrup and that on. It'll add to the flavour. So you slowly knead those in. Righto guys, we've got to the point where I've done a basic knead here, so now we'll put a bit of flour down on the table and we'll finish kneading on the table then. I should polish it off. Grab him out. Make sure you get all the crumbs out, don't want to miss anything, it's going to be sensational. We'll give it a slight knead, push it all together. Alright, now let's start forming the ball with it. Alright guys, just finished kneading that now, so that's probably the size you want. Just make sure when you are putting it in the camp oven it doesn't burn. Make sure you put your trivet in the bottom of your camp oven. Put that in first, that'll just separate, give that airspace from the bottom of the camp oven to the base of that, so base of your bread, so you're not burning it. We'll move on over to the fire now and we'll place that in position. Alright, we've got our damper ready now. We'll just put a bit of flour on the trivet. The reason putting the flour in there is you don't want it to stick to the bottom. So we've got a bit of flour. Place our damper right in the middle of that. Throw the lid on. And then we'll grab some coals. We'll drag it across. I like to have 2 piles. I like to have a pile of coals that's going, burning, and then I drag the coals across to this side where I'm going to do the cooking. And then I put it there, and then it's always have this fire going, so you're making up backup coals. So I drag those coals over now, and we'll throw it on. Move that timber out the road while it's still burning. This is the idea of having 2 piles. You've got to always got your coals underneath, which you can go back to when you need them. Don't want too many coals because you don't want to burn it. You want to slowly bring it up to temperature. We'll start off with a few, will be enough. Put the camp up and on. Put that back and we'll slowly pile that up to get coals ready. And that's it, we'll come back in 10 minutes and have a look. Alright guys, it's nearly been 10 minutes. We'll go check this damper now, so we'll have a look inside. Oh yes, beautiful. Just starting to, just have a quick look in here. Just starting to rise there. What I also did is I scored the top a few times, and that just breaks the surface tension of that bread, so it sort of gives it a nice rise. What I'll do now is I'll restoke that underneath with coals, and I'll just put a fine film of coals on the top of the lid to help nice brown the top up towards the end. Grab the coals, put a few underneath. As such, put that back on top. What I'll do then, I'll just put a light sprinkling of coals on the top. Not too many, just want a couple there to help brown that top up. Don't want to get it burnt. There's more sand than coals. I'll have another crack at that. There we go. Right guys, we'll leave that and we'll come back another 10 minutes and we'll have a look. Right guys, this is the 20-minute mark. It's a 30-minute damper, so this is the second check. The next check after this will be 30-minute point, which it should be done. So let's have a look. Be careful not to put any ash in. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, definitely. Probably won't even take 10 minutes, but yeah, we'll check back and we'll have a look. Right guys, this is the 30-minute mark. Just been 35 actually. What we'll do is we'll actually check it, make sure it's cooked. As you might see, I actually did tip the coals off when the last time we done that recording. What happened is we had a nice brown surface. I didn't want to get too brown on top, so I dumped the coals. So then it actually is still cooking from the bottom, not from the top. Oh yes, beautiful. What we do is we just stab the knife in, about in the middle, pull it out, have a bit of a feel. No, that's dry, so I'm happy with that. So what we'll do is we'll actually take that off now and we'll serve it up to the boys. I've got my lad and Ben, his mate over here. They're all salivating and waiting for breakfast, so we'll take it over to the kitchen, we'll cut it up and show you what next. Right guys, as they say, the truth's in the pudding. We'll cut this open and have a look. Serve it up to the hungry folks. Cut them through the middle. Oh, perfect. That's cooked. That's cooked. What I'll do now is I'll actually cut a slab off it. Oh yep, we've got young Cal. I'll cut a slab off, put a bit of butter on it, and I'm going to plan to drizzle it with a bit of golden syrup. Sensational. Back with a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. Perfectly for this Father's Day special. I don't know how many times I've got to say Father's Day, guys, but I don't think the lad's picked up on it yet. He hasn't said Happy Father's Day yet at all.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Oh, cheers, mate.
No problem.
Perfect timing too. Nick's just woke up, so she's hungry. She's got a cup of tea there. Watching the waves fold in. Oh, look at that. Oh, just salivating just looking at it. Give this to the lad and tell me what you think, mate. What do you reckon, mate?
It's not bad. That's good.
Righto guys, that's a thumbs up from Callum. That's it for the damper. Like I said, the basic recipe, it's just 3 flour, 1 cup of milk, and I just added the extra sultanas, and I added a knob of butter. So it's pretty basic. And that's it guys. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. Have a good one.